This house is in shambles, so in the final episode of this series, we are going to build the starter house. We have a kind of a basic design. I've always had like somewhat of an idea for it. I was gonna make this corner the bedroom, and then I was gonna have some kind of like table in the middle. This was gonna be storage side. This side was gonna basically just be a ton of furnaces. First thing we can do is tear out this. That was for some villagers at one point. By the way, these villagers, there's almost no point in them. They haven't created a single child, and I don't know why, but I do know I wanted to make the roof out of mangrove wood. The first thing we're actually going to do, we're actually going to go ahead and make a path from the house all the way to the fountain. By the way, I put the dragon egg up on top of the fountain. From this path, we're going to make a path over to the nether portal. Then I will just connect up this path to over here. All right, that looks like a little better. We got some infrastructure going. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and actually do a upgrade. As this releases, there's actually going to be a world download for channel members. Since this is the last episode and we're making the base look nice in this episode, so go check that out if you want. The channel member tiers have been reworked. Now there's only one of them, and it's way cheaper than they ever were. Yeah, so go check that out if you're interested in potentially picking up this world and exploring the base that we're upgrading this episode. All right, now I'm going to continue that all the way around. All right, so that's a good base. Now what we need to do is build a roof. Pretty much a simple mangrove roof. Okay, so that roof is now completed, and the first build of the day is done. We are going to keep this mangrove roof onto the main house, but for starters, this house is going to need a different floor. Okay, so I think I want to go ahead and make the floor out of deep slate. My idea, so I don't have to rebuild the armor stand, I should be able to just go like this, and like this. All right, now I think it could be cool if this as like a circle lowered down into the ground. And why necessarily? Well, because I think it is cool. Now these have just been kind of floating here forever, so it's kind of crazy, but I will put my crafting table right here in the center. Okay, so for now, I think the floor is gonna be mostly done. All right, now that all those deep slates collected, we're on to actually working on something a bit different here. So we're gonna kind of build this into something different. So here we have some villagers, and oh wait, no we don't. All right, so we have this building. I don't necessarily want to tear down the entire building, but what I do want to do is basically I want to alter this building. So what I'm gonna do is actually just start getting some deep slate bricks put down, and then any part that extends out past the building can also just get replaced. We'll remove this railway bit since it never really worked. Rather than tearing this down completely, we're just going to transform it into a rather fancy carrot farm. One finishing touch, and that's potentially just a slight callback to what it used to be. Now, after all that deep slate and tough, I've been utilizing the mine a little bit and realizing, yeah, that's got to change. So what we're gonna do, build the mine portion of the house. I think we can probably build just like a basic miniature slab roof. Change up this staircase just a little bit. At least for a little bit, we will dig this staircase down a little bit thicker. Alright, so we have a slightly better mine entrance now. Now I think it's time to start extending the house upward a little bit. Now this second floor, which we're not really going to come up into much, is made out of spruce. And I don't know how much of this second floor is actually going to be a floor. That's exactly it. I think I need to make this thing totally empty. Alright, so I'm going to build all of these little porches. Alright, so I'm going to build these roofs on each side. Now it looks a little goofy now, but it will be a lot better once I have the rest of the roof put in. What I want to do is on each of these, I want to almost build like an arch, so to speak. So the idea with that is, well, even though there's a roof, we can fly out of the build, and when we're coming into the base, we can fly right inside of it. So now we'll have these nice kind of skylight arches that we can also fly out and back into the house from, which will be very cool. We are going to have this roof made out of mangrove wood, but as well, it's going to be trimmed with tough bricks. I know that, so I'm going to start getting this tough brick trimming put in. And while I do that, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone watching this. It's now a little bit through January, so it's been a kind of a busy month, which is why it's been a little bit longer between this upload and my last one than the last couple uploads. For anyone that was afraid maybe I had vanished again, it's okay, it's okay. While much like the Avatar, I always vanish when the world needs me most, that was not what this was. So if you follow me on Twitter, you're in the know, so follow me on Twitter. That's all I'm gonna say. But it is the new year, so of course, new year, new me, as you do. New Year's resolution is upload schedule consistency. So last year, my upload schedule was a wreck. To be fair, I did technically upload a lot of videos. There was a brief point in time where I did definitely quantity over quality and definitely frequency over consistency, so to speak. And that was kind of how this series that I very quickly burnt out on, and you know, I'm ending at you know, I think maybe 30 episodes. We don't have much in this world. It's not really that impressive. Here's going to be my planned upload schedule for 2025. I plan to make 24 videos during 2025. These are all going to be good and very good quality videos. The idea is basically twice a month, so not necessarily every other week, but more just like twice a month. I may not make that many. It may not work out that way. It just kind of depends how stuff goes on in my life, but I do love making videos, so I'm gonna try my best, and that's kind of my personal kind of goal. So Happy New Year. Hopefully we have a good one. I think 2025 is gonna be pretty good, hopefully, for the channel. So maybe we'll hit 1 million subscribers, who knows? So subscribe now if you're new, and we'll find out. But anyway, let's get back to that roof. So a very tall roof, but you know what? Tall roofs are cool. And that's gonna look pretty great, I think. Okay, yeah, that's looking pretty good, pretty large. All right, so this is gonna be what the top of the house looks like. I think it's gonna be really darn good. All right, so I've gotten the roof filled in, and I've just gone ahead and added a couple details, and yeah, it's turned out pretty good, I'd say. But the house isn't quite done. We could use a little bit more details on it and in the interior as well. So before we do that, we're just gonna quickly build up the last few pieces of the base, and we're gonna go ahead and start with probably one of the most important builds, and that's gonna actually be this cow crusher. All right, so we're gonna start by going ahead and giving it just a bit of a minor facelift by adding a little bit of block variation. Frog, you don't want to go in there. Sorry, buddy. You don't, I promise. And we'll build it a little bit of a better platform for it to sit on top of, which should go ahead and match up with the rest of what we've been building rather nicely. And hey, we'll even add a crafting table. All right, not bad. I think that already looks a lot better. With that done, let's upgrade this smelting setup so that way maybe we can cook some items a little bit more efficiently. Slide that back just a bit, and we'll also go ahead and put them on this side as well. As is 12 normal and 12 smokers, which you could have guessed use a lot of cobblestone, which is going to segue us to the next thing, and that's this ugly and also broken cobblestone machine. I don't know why it just blew itself up like a couple times. Now I actually don't know what I want to make this look like, so I would imagine probably cobblestone, ironically. All right, now I do want to go ahead and make the floor on the inside of this look good, just in case I come through. One of my favorite patterns to do for a gray kind of stone floor is actually to take and make this secondary block just plain normal andesite. But if we kind of like play along with the lines here, we'll see the stone and the andesite kind of have lines. We can kind of make it look like these are patches where the floor is kind of worn down a little bit more. So I'm gonna try and do one of those transitions that I see in videos, and we'll do it right now. And boom. Alright, so between clips I built an entire factory. So the back is a little bit more bland, but that's because I mostly don't care. I gathered a bunch of clay, cooked it all up into bricks, got some terracotta, and then, well, I got to work. I debated on fixing this machine as well, but the roof kind of got in the way of that, so it didn't happen. And I am just gonna leave that door and windows just kind of open as they are. I think that'll be a good idea. And I've just realized I forgot this thing, but it's gonna be fine because frankly I'm just done making this video. So as I've probably mentioned before, there is a world download for channel members. The channel memberships have been reworked since probably last time you've heard about them. I think they're a lot better now. You should go consider them.